What's up, everyone? My name is Rob, also known as Captain Kaiju. I will be reading this from a script because I can't remember things and this is not my strong suit. I'm starting this podcast as a way to share and express my thoughts on life, gaming, movies, TV shows, music, and everyday experience. This podcast is two people having a real, no filter conversation about things they care about. Expect honesty, strong opinions, and zero sugarcoating. I also want to hear from you. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and how you see these topics. Discussion is always welcome here. You can also be a guest. All you have to do is message me, let me know. My first guest is Cole, also known as Internet Tour Guide on TikTok and YouTube. The links will be available in the description. Thanks for being here. Well, let's chat.
Publish it. You can cut it out. I don't care. A name?
Yeah,
I
name
don't
for the
know.
podcast.
What's your goal? What's your goal? That's what I always like to start. Like, what do you want from this thing?
It's just voicing opinions per se, and like having conversations and having, like, like I was mentioning earlier, with when you talk to people, or when you watch their podcast, you're like, dang, I wish I had a thing I could talk to them about it, and being able, so it's like just trying to have your own voice and have people, do it like you were, like, with people would comment on your stuff and say, well, this and that.
Hold on. No. You asked for honesty. Why are we putting it on the internet? Is this money? Is this fame?
No,
Is this
no,
power? What is the play?
just the voice. That's what it is. That's what the play is the
Is
voice.
it really that simple with you? Because that's not how it is for me. It is truly a genuine want for internet fame. That's
Uh-huh.
genuinely what I want to be.
Yeah, I get that.
So, like, I like full on, and I cannot do it unless I am honest about it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's no problem. I understand. I mean, if that happens, if it does, hit the ground running and that happens, then sure, cool. I'm like, I'll be happy with it. Not to say I don't want it to happen, but
Sure.
I just want to be able to discuss with my voice rather than just being that person that types in the comment.
I hear you. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm here for it. Hi.
Yeah.
It's nice
Hi.
to see you. I don't know. I don't know about a name. I feel like maybe if you don't know it yet, then like don't get married to anything and just like, you know, test it out. I don't know. Do some
Okay.
test intros. See how you feel. See how you feel talking about it. I'm not like happy that I'm not always happy that like I have internet tour guide as my name right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like it creates conflict for me because when I started making content, I had like a very strong idea of what it was and it relatively quickly pivoted away from that. So I'm kind of like backing back into it in some ways, like from a branding perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a me thing. That's my journey. I don't know where it's going to land.
Yeah, I totally get that, because over the years, when I first started, I had a gamer tag. I've changed my gamer tag on Xbox so many times, and it's just like, I don't know what it is. And maybe I just want something new, something fresh. But I'm like Captain Kaiju, especially on Twitch. Like if you have a Twitch or even TikTok, you have a following, then you keep changing your name, and they're like, "Well, who is this person?" Because it's like a making a new person, kind of, because your name is a lot of things to the people, because like you say, you introduce people and say, hey, look, this is Captain Kaiju, I see it, watch his content. Then he changes his name, and then you're like, well, who's that? I thought you said his name was Captain Kaiju. So it's just, it's like I've had Kaiju O Gojira. I forgot what it meant, but it's, it's a Japanese
Hmm.
Gojiras for Godzilla and stuff like that. But then somebody told me on Twitch, they were like, not on Twitch, but when I was playing Call of Duty, they said, you want your name to be something that's an attention grabber per se. It's like, it's not something that where it's like, oh, how do you spell that? Or like, you send the whole name and it's like, how do you spell it? Then you have to type it in and stuff like that. They want it to be simple. For me, with kaiju, it kind of can be a little difficult because there actually are a couple different ways to spell kaiju. Like I can put the Y in it, or not have it. I prefer the Y. I don't know why. I guess that's just be different.
Mm.
Um, but so that's the thing, and so I'm like, you know what? I'll do this one more time, because someone also said, on a Twitch when I was in a Halo community, he was like, if you keep like what how I explained to you, when you keep changing your name, is like that's your brand. You're making a brand, and so if you keep changing it, it's going to cause confusion. People aren't going to understand more, and then also they might think like, well, this person doesn't know what they're doing, so they're going to like, okay, well, maybe I'll steer clear away from them. So that's the whole thing. So I'm trying to keep. I want to try so bad to keep it like this and run with it.
Have you so how do you want to be referred to as? I guess like if it like in this conversation, but also just like when people are talking about you in that like eventual like do you want them to say Kaiju or Captain Kaiju, or do you want them to say your name or something like that?
I am okay with kaiju. That's what Bonsai calls me. He calls me kaiju, and I think that's easier because it's I don't know what to say. If you call him captain, that's very, I think, maybe very broad. I think that's the right word for it. So where it's like there's so many captains, there are probably kaiju's, but it's just like it's more distinct than captain.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's good for me to know what to call you during the conversation.
yeah. Or
Sorry,
I
I
mean,
just had to hit. I had to hit record
no,
because
no, you're good. I mean, if you, I mean, we can keep this in there too. I don't, because it's what it is a learning experience. I do want people to be in the comments and say, "Oh, okay, you can try doing this, or present yourself this way, or something like that," to where I can learn from that and then put it on for the future. Like with a name, if somebody automatically says like a comment, they could say, "Oh, your podcast should be called this." I'm like, "Well, maybe you're right," and then of course I'll give them credit because like a funny thing too is um whenever someone says something to you, I don't know if you've had the thing have had the moments where they say something to you and you're like, oh, I already know, or I knew that. I was on the bus the one time in another city, and I was on the bus, and this guy I was with, we were friends back then, and he was like, you told me something, and I said I know, and he says, oh, you say I know a lot. And then because omniscient means knowing of everything, so he's like, all right, Rob Nishant. I had that as my gamer tag at one point, but then I was like, well, I want something new, so there you go. I changed it. So I thought that was interesting, but then I changed it. But yeah, so I've had that moment with that. So
okay.
like I said, I that's what the first few, because how we're having these discussions is we'll be like we'll find out the niche of what to maybe the topics have, or like just because there's podcasts out there that talk about anything, just go about it, but I just want to talk about certain subjects so that way we can voice our opinions on it and get it out there more, and have more conversations with people.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why
Yeah.
me?
um well, you had some good points on Halo and stuff like that. So what I want to go with first is I want to hear your Halo story. What How did you get into Halo, and what made a certain Halo your favorite when you got there?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's like the biographical, which is like I played. I remember I have a very early memory of playing Halo at my uncle's house in LA when I was really young. It would have been the year that it came out.
Which Halo? The
Um,
first one? Hit
yeah,
CD?
the first Halo. Yeah.
Okay.
And at that point, to me, I think that video games were Pokemon on the Game Boy. So just like
Mhm.
the idea that a video game could be that was like, it was like discovering quite literally another dimension
Yeah.
of like gaming. So there's like that, like the biographical, and then I got to play like a lot of Halo 2 at my neighbor's house, and like that was it. But like my game was like Halo 3. So like have always been into Halo, even like when I got early access to the internet. I was like all over like the early Bungie forums and like all through like the proto versions of the Wikipedia for Halo. I distinctly remember like using Google videos to download Red vs. Blue. And yes, that's Google Video, not YouTube.
Yeah.
Before that, when it was Google Video, when it was like the Google solution and they had a download button in it. So that's like the story with it. But like all of my like best, just like I don't know, like developmental memories of like every weekend, like trading off, like where we were sleeping at each other's houses and stuff. Like we were playing Halo 3 like the entire time. We played through the Halo 3 campaign like every single weekend when we were, like 13-year-old boys. And it was just lit. It was super sweet. We were just being like, do we curse, by the way? Yes
Yeah,
or
you
no?
can. Yeah, it's
Do you want me to
unfiltered.
not? I don't care.
No, yeah, yeah. It's just letting
Okay,
it.
we were just being shitty kids.
Yeah.
Um, so it was great. That's like the story of it. But like it really is like it's a party game to me. That is not to say that it can't be a competitive game, but like
Mhm,
Halo is a good vibes type of game. Um, when I think of Halo, I think of good vibrations. I think of custom games. I think of wacky experiences. I think of breaking the map. I think of
mhm,
doing glitches to get out of the map. I think of, overloading the maps in Halo 3 so that you break the Guardians so that you can do all that stuff. Like that
mhm.
is to me what is the quintessential Halo experiences. And like most of my time, like that I got the most of was in Halo 3, but obviously that was in Halo 1 and 2. And I think that there is so much to learn from the kind of like experiential, like just open-ended gameplay smack in the face that they can kind of give you sometimes when something glitches out or when you break the game in classic games that are really not present today. So that's way more than what you just asked for, but like that's my story with Halo. I really love it. And
Yeah.
also I just think that it's like an absolutely bitchin' sci-fi universe. Like the books are absolutely slappage. I've read them since I was a kid. They are still slappage. They are very good.
Yeah, I've the thing about me with the reading, because I have a very short attention span when it comes to reading.
Mm,
I've actually started reading the first one, and then I actually listened to the first three and
nice.
with the
Nice.
audiobooks, and then I've stopped there. I just haven't gotten into it, but I have the first 4 or 5, and then I have, there's another one, I forgot what it's called, but it's kind of a bigger, I don't know if it's the bigger book, I think they're all probably all the same size, but it's a Master Chief story.
Mm.
It probably happens, around the Halo 4 and 5, I think.
Shadows of Reach
I don't think it's
would be
Shadows of
maybe the
Reach. It's
one.
it's got a brown cover on it, I think, a brownish type cover.
It's not Silent Storm, is it?
No, let me see.
Anyway,
Oh,
whatever. Who
yeah,
cares?
yeah, so yeah, so that's what sucks is because, like, when people talk about, like, 'cause I think you brought it up, with somebody, I don't know if somebody said it, but we've had this conversation with Bonsai too. It's
Mm,
like they should separate the book and the game, which at the same time, I don't think they should, because the thing is they don't make it to where I mean, you should maybe sometimes it's like, "Oh, man, we're missing a key point, so we should read the books," but at the same time, the games, besides, I guess, 4, 5, and Infinite, maybe because they're made by 343 and they're different. They're not necessarily the same and continuing, how they do it, and I think they make their own stories and stuff like that. So when you replay the games, it's almost like it's a standalone, but at the same time, if you wanna know more, you have to read the books. And I don't think that's such a bad idea. So, like, for me, because 'cause I'm on the fence to where it's like, well, if I really wanna know what's gonna happen or what happened, then I am gonna read the books. But there's a time to where I'm like, "Okay, maybe I will actually try to read the books." The irony in that is I actually pre-ordered the book for after Halo Infinite, and I'm going to try
mm,
my best to actually read it because I want to know what happened at the end of Infinite. Because now instead of making it into a game, they're just going to put it into a book, and who knows what they're going to do next with Halo? We'll find out in a week or so. I think it's the 24th, is it on the Friday, or is it
yeah.
the 28th, 7th that week?
The 24th is
Yeah,
going to be the first day, and
yeah,
that's when they're going to be doing their like panel discussions about it. And I'm excited for that book too.
yeah.
Um, okay, let me ask you something,
Uh-huh.
because yes, I have feelings about this. So you've read a couple of the books, or
Uh-huh.
you're reading one manually, and then you've listened to multiple books, so you're like getting in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you played all the games?
Yes, I've played all of them except maybe Halo Wars 2. I
Okay.
played Halo Wars, and then I've even played that because Bonza told me you you were thinking about doing the stream at Dave& and Buster's and see if you can play
Mhm,
it's Fireteam Raven. I've even played
mhm,
that through. The only thing I probably haven't actually played was Spartan Assault, the phone
okay.
game. Yeah.
Um, what is it that is in the books that you don't know?
I just don't know what's in the books, I don't know how to answer that per se because it's just like,
Oh,
so I'm just with the games, I'm just whatever's happening with the games. Like the
Yeah.
thing that I
No,
don't
no,
know
no,
is
no. The
what,
this
like,
is no, this is the answer that most people give. So you
yeah,
don't know what's in the books.
yeah,
But the the kind of supposition that you were making when you were setting this up was like, so, I don't know if they should be splitting the games in the books, and that you shouldn't really necessarily have to like read the books, but maybe you
mhm,
should sometimes. Um there's a lot of people who think that you have to have read the books to understand the Halo story.
uh-huh,
That is
yeah,
not really the case. It really isn't.
yeah,
And like when you ask anyone who says this, like, what is it that you don't understand about the Halo story that's in the books? They go like, well, I don't know. It's like, well, yeah. So like, are you lost like right
yeah,
now? Like what is like where are
exactly,
you at in the story? Like serious question to you. Are you lost? Do
yeah,
you
I'm
want to get
not,
caught up? I
yeah,
want to get you caught up if you
yeah.
need to be caught up.
Yeah. So that's that's a good way to put it too. It's it's like if you don't know, then you don't know. You're just going along with the game and what the game has put out.
So I can say, as someone who has read almost all the books, I have like kind of intentionally cloistered myself away from reading the Forerunner books, and then I haven't read like Battleborn and Meridian Divide, and I think New Blood, but I've read the rest of them.
Mhm.
Um, so like as someone who's read most of the books, there's not much that you really have to know. Like it is like truly like one of the biggest retcons is the fact that there are other Spartan 2s in Halo 5, because if you read the manual for Halo Combat Evolved where it says that you are the last Spartan, then that is technically where they retcon it, which is a
Mhm.
weird thing to think about because everybody knew that there were more Spartan 2s before Halo 5, but then they just have a weird introduction. So it's like there is this perception on the internet, and this is kind of like my big like angle when I do my content, is like I talk about Halo as a product, and I talk about Halo as like a thing in like the internet consciousness.
Yeah.
Halo is graded on a really steep curve. It's really graded unfairly. There are a lot of expectations, and as soon as you start to like say like, hey, why is it that you think that you need to read the books, or hey, why is Halo 4 like Call of Duty? And they go, loadouts. You go, oh, I think both of those games are significantly more than like that one feature. That feels like a really. Did you just read this comment on the internet somewhere, and now
Yeah.
you're just saying it? And like that's like that is like back to the core of like why I started doing content. Like I wanted to be like a scathing like critique and like voice, and like turning the mirror on like stupid internet tropes, and like kind of just like the way that the internet works. Like that was the original point, and there's still like a little bit of that, but like it's a lot of like Halo focus now. But like when I'm talking about this stuff, I really just have to question like, why are there so many bad vibes around it? Like it's a fun game, it's sci-fi. Like yeah, the
Yeah.
last couple games weren't as good as like that's where everyone's just salty because the newest games aren't as good as the
Yeah.
original Bungie games, and that's okay to say. It's
Yeah.
okay to say, okay, the new games are not as good, but I still like them.
Exactly. Yep. I totally agree with you. I'm on that same page with you. It just people
Yeah.
just want to like. So the nitty gritty part about it is when they say Halo is woke. I'm like, I don't really, because the thing is, I'm not quite knowledgeable on what is woke. I'm more of like, this is woke because I'm told this. And so from my perspective, I'm like, so they've just added stuff to the game. They didn't change anything to make it different. It's all still going the direction of how the story is. They haven't changed anything. Especially, it's a story still being written. It's not saying that it was an old story, like we'll say from the movies, like Snow White from the I think what came out in the '60s, and then now they're changing the characters around and they're doing something different. But
I
for
think it was
Halo,
wasn't Snow White like 1939? I know that we can just fact check this right now,
yeah,
but I think it was earlier than the 60s.
yeah, either way, I'm just saying it's just like they remade it to the well, I don't know when they started filming it, but it was in the 2020s, and now they're changing the characters around and they're making it different. But Halo, they're not making anything different now. If they change the thing, if they do the remake that people are saying it is, then if they change the story in certain ways, then yeah, might be. But if the story's still being written, then you can't really say it's woke if that makes any sense.
Um listen, I agree with everything that you said.
Mhm.
I think that back to like the kind of like core thesis of a lot of like where I try to push some of my work and my ideas is that there are a whole lot of people that are just saying things on the internet that they
Mhm.
have seen before.
Yeah.
Um, so like, is Halo woke? First, like, who cares? First of all, second of all, like, what does that mean? Like, but third of all, who also cares about that? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But like, no, like there are way more woke things if you want to just go with like the classical definition of like putting in a lot of like gay stuff and like putting in a lot of like female representation, which is like in many circles seen as woke. I'm not saying that's how I view that or
Yeah.
that that's good or bad. I'm just saying that like I'm not unaware of like what people think of when they see like a rainbow pride emblem and say like, oh my god, Halo's woke. It's like,
Yeah.
first of all, who cares? Second of all, like, the core thesis of everything that I do on the internet is basically just trying to tell people to stop being even worse than the AI slop that they already hate. Like,
Mhm.
if all you do is get on the internet and just kind of like regurgitate a bunch of the opinions that you have seen somewhere else, or like a comment that you have seen on Reddit from somewhere else, then like you are adding nothing. And like, genuinely, I am like, so you're getting punch drunk, Cole, because I've been awake and it's late
No,
for me.
no.
I'm like so angry all the time about the fact that it seems like so few people are able to give me more compelling responses than AI. I'm not an AI guy. I think AI is going to be bad. But
Yeah.
like, when I hear people like say like, "Oh my god, it has no soul." I'm like, "Holy shit, have you seen what the fucking internet writes half the time? Have you seen 99.999% of the fucking slop that people say and the comment sections in everything?" It's like there's nothing of value. You have to sift through it for so much. So this is my diatribe on this. Listen, is Halo woke? No, it's not fucking woke. Of course it's not fucking woke. Has Microsoft done some wokey things so that they can try and stay with the times, especially back when they were developing Halo Infinite? Yeah, that's what every fucking business was doing. Get the fuck
Yep.
over it. Now
Mhm.
they're all sucking Trump's dick. Get over it. You won. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't
No,
know
no,
if you
you're good.
want this to be that kind of
No,
show, and we
no,
don't
that's
have to go
fine.
further.
No, that's fine. It just, like, because I am more, I don't wanna get too deep into it. I want you to know where I'm at, is that
Sure.
I am more on a conservative side, and
Sure.
I'm not, because the thing what sucks about it is there's those people that were like, "If you're not an ally, you're a piece of garbage," and that is wrong. You can't just because someone's not an ally doesn't mean you're garbage. It's like, and so for
It's
me, it's like, as long as you're be who you wanna be, just don't, it's like with us the back to, the original times, the 2 things you don't wanna talk about in friendships is, politics and religion, because you people have just so angrily opinions and they shove it down each other's throats. It's like, you can still believe in opposite things and still be friends and still keep something going and keep it alive rather than get mad at each other. It's like, just understand each other's beliefs and know where they we're at, and then, okay, well, it is what it is, because it's not gonna it could get better maybe, but at the same time, we don't see it getting any better. Just try to understand each other and move on. You'll either be friends or you just go separate ways. It's just what it is. And for me, I don't want to hate. I'm so tired of the hate. I'm so tired of the hate. We just need to stop. And because there's both sides, it's just button heads every time. And it's just, I want to be friends with everybody, but it's hard. And you can't be friends. You can't please everybody. But yeah, so that's where I stand. So it's like me being more conservative and people saying Halo is woke. It's not. It's either way, they're still writing the story. They're still going, down their path. So just let it be. So what if the thing when you said is there's a rainbow in it? So you like, if it's a rainbow background of a rainbow call tag, don't choose it. There's other, they put cool things in I don't know how to, I guess you say it's diverse. There's so many cool things, like they'll have a sports one maybe, and then they have like the MLG teams. I call it MLG because MLG is the classic way, but the
Mhm.
HC series, they have their own little things like, hey, choose this then, or choose this background. You don't have to choose that to be your thing. So what if they added it? It's not wrong to do that. You just avoid it. I mean, yeah, you'll see it. So what if it's in your vision, in your sight? But why does that gotta make you mad? So just choose something else and go get on with it. And that's what upsets me a lot too. I'm like, because I love Halo. I love, like, dude, I don't know if you've seen, but I have the Halo 2 tattoo, and then I have a custom
Nice.
one right here. And I like, it's the sniper and the battle rifle, and then
Yeah.
the Halo symbol and the Master Chief helmet. You know, it's like I love Halo, and for people to be making those connotations, like the that one chat when I sent you a message after it when I was gone, 'cause I left and it was kind of sucked
Yeah.
because I was at work, and I'm like, dude, like they're being ridiculous. You know, because I know, because we're me and you have our thoughts and stuff about, the politics side or whatever, but you're keeping your cool. You're not forcing it. You're just having fun with the game. You're not talking about the politics. And so what? Like somebody says, "Oh, Halo is woke." Like, why did they have to say that? You know, I think they're probably trying to get a rise out of you, probably, and try to, make you mad. And people like that, it's wrong. It's like, dude, he's having fun talking with the chat. These conversations are fun, and then all of a sudden, people be saying all that stuff, and then it's like, man, like I said, I love Halo, and the fact that they're saying all that, and like, dude, get over it, you know. But
I'm
I don't
writing
think they ever
down
will.
notes, by the
Yeah,
way,
no, no,
down
you're
here
good.
when
Yeah,
I'm
go,
doing that.
yeah,
There's a couple of things here.
uh-huh,
So I think that what you're referring to is basically instances when like there's been somebody in chat who says like, this game is woke,"
mhm,
or something like that. Let's just like, reminder that that's 1% of like the 1% of the vocal internet that like chimes in. Like, there's a lot of people, and most people are not saying that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So I don't think that this is like a real issue,
yeah,
TBH. Um, as far as like how I talk about it, there is like to pull the curtain back a little bit, there's like an extreme level of performative nature with basically everything that I'm doing when I'm streaming. Like I have like an acting and a performance and an improv background.
uh-huh,
And like for years I sang like as my job. And then I've been in like customer facing roles for like tech companies that are all like partnership based. So I've had to get like professionally good at reading a room. So like when somebody pipes in like that, I really honestly am on it usually thinking like, "Oh my god, it's going to look so fucking cool to the rest of chat when I just like look way smarter than this person, because
yeah,
it's going to be really fucking easy because I don't have to actually argue against them because I'm running a goddamn live stream. Of course I'm going to win." And then they're in the comments. So I can just say something like, "Hey, dude, I think that I'm not really sure where you're coming from. Like, can you explain more?" Wink at chat. Like, it's
yeah,
like there's a level of performative nature. Like, I'm not interested in having this conversation. Like, a lot of the conversations that I have, like, it is a character that I'm putting on. So, like, yes, I'm with you. Like, this is an important conversation. Like, me as a creator, there is like a level of performative nature that is literally always on. That's not really on right now. It's a little bit on right now, but
yeah,
like I'm aware of that. So like I guess I want you to be aware of that and I want everybody to be aware of that. If anyone thinks that this is just like 100% like just me 100% of the time, it's genuinely not. You are never going to get that. And
yeah,
like I'm okay being honest about that.
yep. There's nothing
Um
wrong with that.
yeah. But do you want to be friends with everyone? That was
No,
what I
I
wrote
don't.
down first.
No,
You said that.
I
You
I
said you want
don't.
to be
I just,
friends with
well,
everybody.
because I mean, it's like a, what is it? Take that lightly, because it's like you can't. It's not just. I mean, you can, like, you try to talk to every person and say hi, but the thing is if everybody does not think like you, and there's some, I mean, there's people that if they don't think like you can be friends, but there's not. So especially there's been time. It's kind of a side thing, and but kind of relates to it. There's been a time to where like I'm gonna try to be different, and I'm gonna try to just wave to people, like maybe walking on the road, and just wave, try to see if you make someone's day. Because there's stories of, hey, this person smiled at me, waved at me, it made my day. I was having a bad day until they smiled at me. So there's been a couple times where I try to do that, and they just give me a mean look. I'm like, all I'm doing is waving and saying hi, but then they just have a mean look on their face. I'm like, well, okay, because my mentality, I kind of give up too easily, which I shouldn't, but I just did. I'm like, okay, fine, I won't do that. I'll just try to, move on from it and just let be myself. And if something happens, and
Mm,
something happens positive, like, but that's why I have the tattoos, is I'm very reserved and shy, to where I won't approach somebody in real life. Like internet makes it so much easy
Mhm.
to do that. But my tattoos is they're all nerdy tattoos, and I'm like that way it'll start a conversation because if somebody sees a certain tattoo, they're like, oh, you like, I see you like this, or that's a cool tattoo. Boom, conversation just erupts from it. So like that makes it easier for me when there's a context to start a conversation. So back to that point is as much as I would actually want to, I wouldn't actually want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be either.
Yeah.
I don't like everybody.
Yeah.
I don't like most people, I've found.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a history of, like, most of my best friends I, like, did not like at all at first.
Mhm.
And, like, I don't know, some level of, like, like, feud or something with them, and then, like, we lived together and then became best friends, so, like
Yeah, that happens. It does happen.
yeah. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, I mean, listen, dude. I'm happy to get all. I don't know if you want to. I'm very passionate politically. Like it sounds clear. Like we have like some pretty different beliefs. I'm happy to have that conversation. I just don't know if you want to. But like, is Halo woke? Like, who the fuck cares? It's not
Yeah.
like if we're just talking about the game, then it's like I don't care. I'm not. Everybody needs to back up.
Yeah.
Before we get a good Halo game, nobody's allowed to talk about whether or not it's woke because it doesn't matter if it's woke.
Yeah.
If it's not a good game, then it doesn't matter. If it's a bad game and it's woke, it's bad. If it's a bad game and it's not woke, it's bad. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if it's woke,
Yeah.
literally at all. Oh my God. So, like, all we have to do is focus on like making the right demands. And
Yeah.
like, I think that this is the huge problem with the Halo community right now is nobody is willing to like just make some concessions or like align on a list of demands, which is a little bit what I've been trying to do in like my How to Save Halo series, but nobody watches my goddamn videos. So
I watch them. I be looking giving them a view
I
and
don't
stuff. Just
mean literally
yeah. Yeah.
nobody.
I know.
I don't mean literally nobody.
Yeah, because you got a good following, and I see that. It's really good that how you keep growing too. I like seeing that happen.
It's literally all coming from lives. It's not coming from my content right
Oh
now.
yeah. Well, I'm
So
able to
like
help.
I am very clearly not bending to the algorithm's whim, which is another way of saying I am very clearly not learning my lesson over and over and over again. That is not to say that my videos are not improving because every single one is, and I'm doing at least 2 a day that are all like highly edited and they are good.
Yeah.
But like it is very clearly not optimized for the algorithm. It's not for memes. It's not to like get people to shock and stop and like, it's certainly not uploading other creators material that's just stolen directly from YouTube or just uploading directly, like full episodes of Halo anime or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit past it, but would you mind hearing my Halo story and how I got into Halo?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no,
Yes,
you're
I
good. No,
do.
no.
Please.
Yeah. So, see, like you said, how you remember the memories back then. So I grew up going to church. My grandparents were very religious. They still are. I wouldn't say were because my grandpa was gone before COVID, which was good. But so I grew up going to church, and there's a do you know what a parsonage is? I think that's what it's called. The parsonage.
I no.
It's a house that's at a church. I don't know if it's not every church, but there's a house that's basically
Yeah.
that's at a church, and they people live there. I think it's mainly the pastor. Probably the pastor
Yeah.
lives
It's
there.
like a midnight mass type of situation. Father Paul or whatever.
Well, it's them and him and his family. They live there and stuff like that. And they think I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know we were a guest. We showed up. The first thing I saw on Halo was the two. I think it was two sisters. They were sitting there on the couch. They were playing the game, and they were playing the. I think it was on towards the end or it was in the beginning. Can't remember the mission exactly, but it's with the two bridges um in the snow level, and then like you have to go through, and I think
Two betrayals?
two
Wait,
betrayals. No, because
assault on
it's
the control room.
in that just a variant, or it's either that part or towards the end of the game, because you have to go first, you go through
Mhm,
it, and then you have to
mhm,
go back
mhm.
through it. So it was one of those ways. and they were playing. And what the funny thing was is they said I need a reset. I'm like, what? What is it? So reset is when you go and hit your co-op and in the back, the way you can regain ammo. I was like, that's an interesting take. Now I look back on it, I was like, okay, so they
Mhm.
go and play it, and then I'm like, what is this game? And then they tell us, and we just, I think, I don't remember the whole thing of how it goes, but I know that we started learning it from there. And then it grew into a bigger thing to where it's like, well, now we have game night. So Wednesday night, we go over to the church. After church, we have game night, LAN parties. That's where it started. We all have Xboxes. I didn't have my own Xbox yet. It was a couple other people that had their own Xbox, and we go and we have LAN parties and we play Halo 1. And then after that, we're like, we want our own console. It's just me and my brother is, and we want our own console. And of course, the parents would say, well, if we get you a console, you're going to only play that. You're not going to do your schoolwork. You're not going to do your chores and what you're supposed to do. It was like, and I just kept begging. It's like, please, please, please. But then eventually, our grandma got it. But our grandma got it at Halo 2. So when Halo 2 came out, and we know it's there. It's sitting at my grandma's house with Halo 1, Halo 2. And the funny thing is we played the Halo 2 campaign before we played Halo 1. So we played the Halo 2 campaign, and then we went to Halo 1 after that. I don't know what it was, what made us do that, but we did it. And then we had a friend. I guess no, I guess you would just say a friend because it's almost a neighbor, but he lived half a mile away. We lived in desert, and we would go over there and we'd play Halo 2 online, and we play against people, and that's how I made a good friend of mine. We don't really talk because I guess he's more reclusive than I am, way more reclusive. Doesn't talk to his friends, just plays games. Made a best friend from Halo 2, and we're still friends. We've played maybe last year, talked about it. But yeah, so that's my Halo story, how I got into it. And for some reason then we were excited for Halo 3, and we had to get the 360. We got the 360, we got the Halo 3 day one. We were like, I think I forgot who went to go get it. I think my brother went and got it with a family member. They picked it up. They're like, yes, let's play. We get to play it. And then I think the first level we played on was Epitaph because we played the multiplayer first, and so we got into that. And um, my and my brother kind of grew apart a little bit, but we're still close. But he's got a family now, so he can't really play it as much and stuff like that. But he still tries to play it when it comes out. But yeah, so that's my Halo stories, and also my favorite is Halo 2. I don't know what it is, but it's just I think Halo 2 just really stuck with me. And and then, like, I remember I always repeat the lines when I replay it through. Like my favorite one is um so Johnson, when are you gonna tell me about how you made it home in one piece? It's like, sorry, guns, it's classified. Classified my ass, you forget about your adjustments to your A2 scope.
My ass.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's, I don't know, Halo 2 really stuck with me. And so when I play through it, I'm like, Halo 2 Anniversary, that was amazing. And it's way better than what they did with Halo 1. But yeah, so that's my take on Halo from how I became a Halo fan.
Yeah, vibes wise, I think that there's a strong pulp aspect to Halo 2
Yeah.
that works extremely as well as Halo 3. It's a little bit edgier in Halo 2, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's there's a certain vibes of some pulp and like action movies from the 80s that
Mhm.
like is very much a vibe that is welcome, that is seemingly present from the newer entries. They're a lot more serious. I want them to be a little bit tongue in cheek, a little bit more. I want them to be like, knowing what the ladies like and stuff. Like that's
Yeah.
cool. We like, we like that. Like,
Yeah.
we can reach across the aisle and like, left and right can both be like, yeah, we know what yeah, of course. Like, yeah, this works great for me. Like this works.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, Halo 2 is great, my friend. It is.
Like,
I love
also with the glitches, like when you were talking about the custom games, like, dude, that was peak. Like, did you know Tower of Power? Were you ever aware of that?
The name is familiar, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. No.
I don't. I could be wrong, but for me, my feeling is I want it to be right to where that created King of the Hill. That's where King of the Hill came from. Because Tower of Power is the ascension level, with that
Mhm.
thing that spins around and stuff like that. And then you have the sniper tower, and then you have
I
the other
know.
tower. Yeah,
Triangle, circle, triangle,
yeah,
cone.
yeah. So I mean, I think we just kept it on that one tower that has the 2 levels, and that's where you have to try to take it over, and person would just stand there. I think maybe King of the Hill in general probably didn't come from it, but that's how they created it in, Halo 2 universe to where it's like, "Oh, now we have a King of the Hill game type," because people were playing Tower of Power, and it's who had the tower the longest and who gets the most kills in that tower, and then after that, that's how the custom games started, like, zombies and stuff like that. I think they couldn't do it, so you had to color change. It's like, oh, so I killed you, so now you're a zombie. So now you have to change your color, and you switch
Yeah.
teams, and now you're a zombie. And then,
Dude, the old like honor system rules for any of the games were just like so Wild West internet, and like part of the internet that I miss. Oh, the dead internet makes me sad. Hey, do you
right,
mind if I do something on you real quick just to like throw something at you?
go ahead.
All right. You have exactly, or you can use up to 7 words.
Hmm.
Only up to 7. You can't say like, "Can I ask questions?" Because that's your numbers. Okay. Don't ask questions. This is not that.
All right.
Do you understand the assignment?
Yeah.
This is not. You're not taking up your 7 words yet.
Okay. Well, let's
Okay.
see what you got.
Do you think Halo is dead?
Hmm.
You can only use up to 7 words. You don't have to use all 7.
I'm going to
Everybody,
say no.
5 words.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was gonna like say just say no, but I just I just wanted to say extra words. I don't think it's dead. It may like I think was it you or was it somebody else? They said that it wasn't you. I think it's Act was it Ackman? Are you familiar with Ackman on YouTube?
Yes, and I'm flattered to be confused with him.
Said about Halo being on a hiatus. It's not dead, but it's like on a pause or a hiatus or something like that. I don't remember who said it, but yeah, so I think that's probably what it is. And what the whole thing is, they see like 343. We love Halo, we still play it, but we have our opinions to where 343 screwed up. It's just like I don't like the way they did from transition from Halo 3 to Halo 4. I think that like the armor, like his armor kind of changed, but how did his armor change? He was in cryo sleep the whole time. What like Cortana did something while he was in cryo, and she changed his armor somehow, and now he has like some type of jetpack on it when they didn't have it in Halo 3. It's like, okay, maybe in Halo 3 he had it, but he never used it. They didn't think about that. So, and then I sucks that Halo 5 is not on PC. It sucks.
Wait a minute.
Um,
Hold on. Why do you care about that? That's all
about what?
old news.
About
Why do you
what?
care about any of that? It's old news. Halo 4 came out 15 years ago. Halo 5
Oh,
came out 10
because
years
I'm
ago.
talking
Why do you
about
care?
the transit, like the way the transition is, like how they're
Mhm.
screwing up the story to where I feel that 1, 2, and
But
3, if they
we are not talking about that, just to be clear. I want to be like, I don't think that the story is screwed up. I think that there were some things that I hate.
I know, but
But
I'm just saying my opinion because I don't I'm not when I say we, I'm not really saying you. I'm just
oh
saying, like,
no, I'm aware.
other people. Yeah,
I'm making my feelings clear by
okay.
articulating the way I am.
Yeah, so, like, you see that Halo 1 and 2 and 3, they all connect more than 4, 5, and Infinite. They feel like they're standalone games, and especially how they're the UI and the things that you can do differently and stuff like that. So I just think that they could have done a lot better, especially with Infinite. It was supposed to be a 10-year project, and we're gonna have DLC, we're gonna have biomes and more different places to go to, and a big open world, which is very fascinating for a Halo game because they were never an open world. They were more straight to the point. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited just to see where it goes because there's even people still are upset to where it's open world because they want it to be straightforward. But
Would it surprise you to know that that's the vision that Microsoft was sold by Halo Studios as well?
the open world thing,
Yeah. Like all of that. Like the open world, all the vision of like becoming the Master Chief and like rebuilding like on the ring in the open world. Like are you aware that that is also the vision that Microsoft bought
I
as
mean,
like
I
their
believe it.
project
So
plan?
yeah, I mean, because that's the that was their whole idea. That's what they were pitching to everything. You know, it's like everybody was like expecting this whole open world 10-year plan. And then I don't remember exactly. I think people were blaming COVID. I didn't dig too deep into it, but I had a feeling that it was probably mainly, not really mainly, but mostly because of COVID and people had to stay home. They couldn't go to the office, so very limited their tech to be able to put out what they said they were going to put out. But I don't other than that, I don't know the whole premise of why Halo Infinite backfired. So,
I definitely recommend going to watch Halo: The Promise, which is kind of like a recently surfaced.
I did see some of that,
Okay,
with your video because
yeah.
you're
So
right active
anyone
director.
out there, if you're listening to it in the future, go listen to it. Dan Chosich, I think, I believe it was. He was one of the narrative designers for Halo Infinite. Put together this really interesting, like, kind of internal documentary that was used to kind of sell the vision for Halo Infinite to Microsoft. Obviously, they were already bought in, like they own the company. But like, you still have to like kind of present your project plans and present the vision. And this was more like the vibes based vision. So I just find it interesting. That, like, there's a lot of opinions about what Microsoft has done. I think that there are a lot of opinions about this developer that like are based in like vibes, and like frankly, like, it doesn't matter what has happened in the past. Like, yeah, the games like didn't do as well, yeah, they weren't as good. Like, oh my god, if you want the next Halo game to be good, then like the only way that you can do that is to get organized and get behind a list of demands. Like, truly, like,
Yeah.
if I will say this right now, I'm putting it together, but like, I think that there is something like this master list of like 15 little mini fat W's that have to happen in the next Halo game, all striking in a perfect line to revive Halo. And it's in the form of like little mini features, like, and let me just like game this out with you, like
Mhm.
with the big one. It's like playable elites. Listen, like, I don't care that much. I think that
No?
they're cool. I want them in the game. I think that
Okay.
that would be sweet. But this is an example of something that, while it is kind of an inconsequential game design decision, it feels like such a big fat W for so much of the audience that it starts to have this snowball positive impact effect that you really need to use to counteract all of what's happening on this side of the screen. Like, what you're talking about is mistakes in Halo 4 and Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. And guess what? That's what they're talking about too. And they're talking about how to beat that perception. And it doesn't matter. They have to make not only a great game, but they have to beat this perception that all they release are failures. And the only way they can do that is by adding up a series of little fat W's that everybody can rally behind. Oh my God, Playable Elites are back. Oh my God, dual wielding is back. Oh my God, they fixed theater. Oh my God, it's launching with a customs games browser. Oh my God, the campaign rules.
Yeah.
Bro, multiplayer slaps. Yo, they brought Marty back. I'm not like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not on that one. That's not on
Yeah.
the list. But like,
Yeah. I mean,
but
that's a
that
good
there's my
point.
thesis. That's how you win, and it's a really, really trick narrow shot that they got to do. So I'm in the job market, Halo Studios.
Well, um, so the next thing I would want to say, so that way I can have more of a take on it. Um, what do you want to see? We'll start there. Is what do you want to see in the next Halo game? And like I'll say, let's go with what do you think they should do? Should they be making a remake? And what should they do to the next Halo? So I mean, however you want to start with, you can go with
You're gonna
on
hate
that.
my answer. You're gonna hate my answer.
Go ahead, just say it.
They need to just make a good game. That's all they need to do.
Okay, I mean,
It's
okay,
literally the only thing that they.
remake
It's the
though.
only thing that they have not tried.
Would that be a good game if they made it good? Like, or are you just saying it has to be the next Halo? Don't focus on the old stuff.
No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that regardless of what it is, it has to be a good game. It has
Okay.
to be a great, great experience that like everybody can rally behind. And it cannot be another experience where 50% of the fan base either feels alienated or spit on or neglected or lied to in some way.
Mhm.
They have to develop in the open. They have to, regain trust with communications in some much more meaningful way than the ways that they have regained trust in the past, because this has happened every time. And I'm telling everybody right now. I don't know if anybody will ever listen to this or when you will, but we're recording like a week before they're doing announcements. The Halo cycle is going to start again. Everyone's going to get super hype. I'm going to have some counter opinions to that, and I'm not going to do very well because I'm not super hype about it. But I think that they're going to probably do some sort of a lazy remake. It's probably not what people want. You
Mhm.
really got to like thread the needle. You got to like listen. If they wanted to launch this sucker and say that this is the test bed for just Unreal development for the next 10 years, it's fully mod friendly. We're launching with a custom game browser. This one is for the fans. Own whatever you want. Do your own custom campaigns and missions, and you can always have it. It's cool. Rebuild Halo 2 if you want in that engine. We don't even care. Like, that's the way to make you have like some sort of longevity for the game. But like, if there's no third mode, if there's no firefight, if there's no multiplayer, like that's what the rumors are saying. But also, like, it just doesn't matter. There needs to be some sort of meaningful other experience that is going to extend it past being like a 6-hour experience, because nobody's going to want to play that. And then it is going to, instead of being a small maybe W, it is going to be, you know, just a kind of another like wet fart. And my suspicion is that we're going to get a multiplayer game before the Halo Combat Evolved remake.
Mhm.
um Hold on, sorry,
No, good.
my wife just texted me.
Okay, so what you're talking about, make the game great, right? It just doesn't matter what it is, and you said that before you think before we get the remake, we'll get a multiplayer, and
Oh
then
yeah, that's just kind of my suspicion. It looks like the rumors are pointing towards like two games that
yeah,
have not been
that's what I was
released
hearing.
yet in some way. And I just think that a company like Microsoft likes to attach itself to something like a quarter century anniversary edition or something like that in 2026. Which I think probably leaves open the door for them to launch something out the door that has been worked on for a very long time, which would be something like a battle royale. Probably that's my current bet.
You think they're gonna come out with the battle royale?
Or something like that. I mean, Certain Affinity has been working on some game of theirs for years.
Well, because
So
there was a thing, weren't they? Didn't they cancel it? Like, didn't because I think they made announcements like, "Oh, we were working on a battle royale game, but we said no. We decided not to cancel or what, something like that."
allegedly, and
Yeah.
my news could be out of date. They were working on it in some level of the Blam or Halo Infinite engine
Mhm.
for a while, and then that was stopped. And then the rumor is that that was resumed in some other production environment. You
Okay.
can fill in the blank with whatever you want to speculate there.
Yeah. Okay, well, the way what I if they do if it's a remake and another Halo game, I'm not sure what I don't know anything about the a new Halo game. I don't know what their plan is because especially if they're gonna just have the book that continues after Infinite, so maybe it could be a soft reboot, like with the remake. Because some people they get confused with the word remake. They say the remake or reboot. It's not the same thing. I mean, no, not remake, reboot. Remaster. Because remaster is have the same game like they just did. You know, with Halo 2, it's got great graphics. Um, uh, Halo CE anniversary has just, I guess, you say better graphics. I mean, I think I liked them too, but I don't know if they're great. You know, everybody has their own opinions to what great graphics are. Like when they showed off Halo Infinite and they showed Craig, now that became an internet meme. It's like this looks like trash. I'm like, to me, I don't care. It looked fine to me. Now they did a close up, and it's like, okay, all right, well, whatever then. Because that's the funny thing is people get so upset about graphics and stuff like that when it still looked cool to me. I'm still satisfied. I'm an easygoing kind of guy to where I'm not a harsh critic. And so when it comes to the Halo one, if they do a remake and they want to redo it and they'll add stuff they probably cut out, stuff that they wanted to put in the first place and stuff like that. I don't know technically who they are because Bungie, I think they started out with two guys. It's Jason and I forgot what the other guy's name. I keep forgetting what it is. Um, but I mean, of course, it was more than two guys, but those are the two guys that mainly represented from what we've seen. And they had all these plans, but they couldn't. They had to scrap some of it, especially with Halo 2. The Halo 2 E3 demo, everyone loved that, at least from what I've experienced. And I was excited for them. Like, damn, I wish we got this. Now they have it in the Steam, you can play it. And which I'm like, I got super excited for it. But so when it comes to the Halo remake, I think it would be really cool, me personally, because I think there's probably divided fans to where it's like if they added stuff that they've taken out and with multiplayer, I think that it would be cool if they put multiplayer, because there's this nostalgic thing that's going on. They're remaking, like they just came out with Gears of War Reloaded, and but they didn't really change anything except I forgot what the term was, but because they put it on a portal something, or port, yeah, a gaming port to PlayStation. They didn't really change anything with it. It's just the same graphics. There's even bug issues and stuff like that. I don't know if they've updated recently, but anyway, so when it comes to the Halo remake multiplayer, I would play the Halo 1 multiplayer, but I don't do it now because there's that, especially in the campaign, to when you're running around because of the physics, you go to jump and there's that. I don't know if I can describe it right. I think you might get what I mean. But like when you go to jump and you go to jump on a rock, you kind of slide a little bit and you can't stop. It's just like slide and then you fall off. You can't make the jump because of how the game mechanics and physics are. You can't do that. But I think that if that's actually redone and they have everything to where you can actually do a perfect jump and get on. I know it's just kind of funny to say jump, but it just matters to me because if you're trying to get up to like the last mission, the Pillar of Autumn, you try to jump up to where you can throw the grenades in and try to explode I forgot what they're called, but the engine stuff. You can't get up. You have a hard time getting up there for me, and I just fallen every time because of the game mechanics. The physics are like you slide. You can't jump right. So I think if you're able to make it like, I guess if you use the Halo Infinite engine, maybe, um, which is just a small hint, because they won't do it because they're moving on from it. But if they did something like that to where you don't have those physics, I would love to play Halo 1 again because of that. Even the multiplayer, because it's the way the physics are in multiplayer, the way the jumps are, and the graphics. Hell, I still like the graphics because it still was like, oh, nostalgia feeling. But if they updated the graphics and the stuff with that, I think it would be very cool. I don't know how many people would agree with it. They'll at face value they'll say no, but when they realize the stuff that will be different and how much better it could be, then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, now I see the point of what it is." Now, that's not a game you probably want to play years to come, especially with how I forget how you stated exactly, because it's an old game. You don't want to necessarily bring multiplayer. Why not just do the story and just it's story retold, or added stuff in, and like you see Master Chief using a sword in that trailer, um, which it's probably not even going to happen. It probably won't be in there. They're just saying, hey, look, this is what we're thinking of doing, of how we're going to design the next Halo, and look how cool he looks with the graphics and the scenery in the background. So who knows if they were actually displaying that he's going to use the sword in Halo 1, because it's Halo 1 armor, but you never know exactly. So that's my take on how I would feel, that I think they could. They're not saying they will, because they might not. They might not even have multiplayer. They'll just do the campaign. But I would be satisfied if they redid the whole thing, remake, and added stuff in that was taken out or that they wanted to put in but they couldn't. If that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. Here's what I can comfortably say as evergreen advice for not just this, but like anything.
Mhm.
Um, make a purchase decision and a time spend decision based on whatever that means to you. You don't have to play this game if it doesn't look good. I don't have to play this game if it doesn't look good. In fact, I won't play this game. I mean, I'll play it once probably, but I'm not gonna like keep playing it.
Uh,
And like definitely just like, punish the big corporation for doing something bad if they do something bad. Show them that that's not good with your wallet. That's
you
the
know,
only thing that you can do.
what really sucks about that, and it's more than just games, but people are saying like, oh, like especially Halo is dead, but it's not, because people are still playing, people are still buying it. Like same thing with Call of Duty. They're saying like Call of Duty is going to be washed up, um, because Battlefield came out and it made records of how many people are playing day one, and at the same time, it's Call of Duty is still probably going to thrive. And there's no way it's going to be dead, because there are always going to be people buying it, and there's people going to be playing it. It's just the only way for something to tell these corporations that we've had enough is everyone. I guess I'd say maybe should be 90%. I don't know what the best percentage would be, but if there's that great deal of percentage of saying, hey, look, we got to stop playing this game. Everybody's got to agree to it, because if everybody doesn't, they're still going to keep making it. There's making a Black Ops 7. It's coming out. It's already made, and it's coming out this November, and it's still going to thrive. People are still going to buy it, and like people complain about the skins, they're still buying them. That's the thing. People are still going to buy. And so for us to say, don't buy it, or I mean, of course, you make the choice to buy it, but people are still going to do it. And I think that's the thing that sucks about that, is it's still going to happen regardless. That's just the overlay of how it's going to happen. And, my question I want to ask you though is,
I do gotta.
no,
I'm sorry.
no,
It's 1 in the morning. I gotta
no, yeah.
start getting out of here.
Okay, yeah, we'll start closing it up. I think that's the where I was going to, is
Yeah.
talk about the future and where we think it's gonna go. So my question is, because you said that you probably play it once and you won't play it again. Do you think there would be any chance that you would play it again? Like if it's good, like, or is that gonna
Yeah.
be, even if it
Oh,
looks
yeah, of
great?
course. I love Halo. Absolutely. I'm open-minded to a fantastic experience.
Uh-huh.
If it's a lazy experience, if it's just Halo Combat Evolved, but, prettier,
Uh-huh.
like, I'll probably play it once, and
Mhm.
then, like, I'm personally gonna be a lot more interested probably in something like mods.
Yeah.
Even if just from a selfish perspective, that really captures the attention of more people than I even imagine, Halo and Unreal Engine will. So I mean, it depends. Like, if there's an incentive for me to play it, which is either like, will it perform well for me, a streamer,
Mhm.
or will I be interested in it for a fun like level? Then yeah, of course I will. Like, I'm going to vote with my time and my wallet, the way that I do with everything else.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to form my own opinions based on what I see. Like, I just like that is the ultimate thesis of everything that I say on the internet, is like, look at what you see, and before you go to a comment section, like, just ask yourself what you think about something, like, like, lock in what you think about it, and then go read the comments. And
Yeah.
then, like, if everyone disagrees with you, maybe that's okay, and you don't
Yeah.
have to change your opinion.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, if they have mod support, if they have like a cool mode, if they have like if they pull in like a bunch of new story elements, yeah, dog, that'll be lit. Hell yeah, let's go. Halo redo, flip-de-doo, get those PlayStation boys on board. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they did, like, I guess you'd say it's like, I guess let's put it reboot instead of saying remake. Let's say reboot, and like, because
We shouldn't say anything that they have not said.
well, no, no, no,
That
no,
would
no,
be
no.
my
What I mean is, what
recommendation.
I'm thinking of, like, what it would be cool to do is, instead of saying remake, say reboot, and that they, like I said, they put in old stuff, and stuff that they haven't put in, stuff that they wanted to put in, stuff that they had to take out, stuff like that. Like with, the Halo 2, for example. If they did that, and they're gonna read, like, for PlayStation, because that, like I said, with Gears of War, it kind of was a bad run, with how it was a very bad impression that they did for the PlayStation players. There were good ones, not to say that there weren't any good ones, but there were. So I think if they redid, because that's what people were saying. Of course, we don't want to say that's what they're saying. It's just what people were talking about. I was like, I think that would be pretty cool if they did the reboot of Halo, and they retold the story, but it's not actually retelling. It's just, putting stuff that they've taken out. I don't want to repeat the whole thing, but I'm sure you get what I mean.
Mhm.
So if they did that, I think that would be cool. But that's it. It's just be cool, because I don't think it's a smart thing to do. But if that's what they're gonna do, hey, what can we do? The only thing we could do is, everybody just stop buying them. Tell them like it is, but it's not gonna happen, because why? There's always gonna be that group of people that are still gonna buy the game, regardless of what game it is, whatever they think. This is like, I think Concord. I think it died because I don't really necessarily say, but I think that's what I feel like is just bad reviews and how they're going, and it's actually going downhill. If the same thing happened with Halo, it's gonna happen, but it's not. It's always, I guess you would say, at a level, to where it's gonna keep going, because people are still buying it. Otherwise, if it was dead, they wouldn't be making anymore. They're still going. So, but that's where it's at. So that's what I think.
That's what happens with mega intellectual property.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
Cole, I appreciate your time. This was very cool. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous at first, because um it's hard for me to talk to new people, especially with our beliefs and stuff like that. I'm like, huh, but I've watched your content. I'm like, this dude is more level-headed and not forcing stuff out there. We're talking about Halo. We're trying to have a good time, talking about the mods,
It's
the
true.
stuff that you can do and stuff like that. We don't have to pull in all this other stuff. I mean, of course, there'll be people that do it and they'll mention something and you'll stop playing and say, hey, look, you know, this, and this is my thoughts, and then you'll just go back to playing. And just that's what we need to be doing. That's what me and Bonsai, I told him, I was like, hey, I caught him on the stream. I was like, hey, did you hear about Halo 2 Uncut? I introduced him to all the mods, and he's like, whoa,
Yeah.
I bought him the Master Chief Collection. I was like, you know what? This is your donation to your stream. This is me, because he's like, don't do it. And I bought it for him. I was like, hey, look. And it opened to a whole new world for him. And he was like, damn, like, I'm glad you did that. So I really want to do it because I wanted to share the fun of the Halo mods, because you know exactly what I'm talking about with all those mods. You've been playing more than I have, you know, and find like the Halo 2 Forge. I want to see it. But anyway, I won't keep you anymore. I appreciate your time. Hopefully we can do more of this some other time, because it's not just sticking to certain people. I mean, I am going to be the main person probably, but I want to be able to talk to different people, have different conversations, and see what comes up. But yeah, so yeah,
Happy to be here, my friend.
I'm glad you're here.
Well, dude, it's been a pleasure. And bye.
All right.